There are times when I want to ask questions based upon a set of predetermined answers, and the survey editor provides the ability to do that. So let's go ahead back to our selected questions, and we're going to add yet another question after the third one. By clicking it, we click the plus, and now we have a new question. This question we're going to ask something about phases of the moon. And you'll notice that below the single selection, text entry, and other forms of answers that we have, there are a set of different kinds of predetermined answers that will be filled in for you automatically. Great to poor, high to low, how much time, many more to many fewer, many to few, and so on. So I could say, how many drinks did you have last night? And rather than typing in all the answers, I go, we'll go for many to few. And now the question is automatically populated with answers from none, few, some, many, and very many. If I preview it, you'll see that these answers show up for me automatically. Again, the orientation of the answers is determined by two factors. One, the survey editor looks at the length of the answers and determines whether or not they would fit reasonably well in a horizontal fashion. And if not, it orients them vertically. And two, if there are any hidden questions underneath any of the answers, then it always does a vertical orientation. Hide our preview. Now, one of the things that you'll see, we've talked so far about using text questions or text answers, single selection answers, and multi-selection answers. Quite frequently, what you'll see is questions arrayed in a grid where you might have a common set of answers, such as sometimes, always, and never. And then each of the questions that is being asked is going to be answered with one of those values. Rather than having those values repeated over and over, you see them arrayed in a grid so that it makes it easier for people to follow what's going on. So let's go ahead and add another question. And this one we're going to put into what's called a matrix format. Matrix format, you'll see a new field that shows up, which is the number of answers. If we want to have 3 answers to the question, then we'll put in the value 3. And this time the first question is going to be just please select the answer that best applies to the questions below. Since we have 3 potential answers, we're going to first add those. So the first answer would be, we'll do a frequency-based. Actually, let's select from a list. So we can go from better to worse. Much worse, worse, same, better, much better. All right, so this is actually giving us 5 potential answers. Let's go ahead and we'll get rid of the much ones so we can delete it. Much better we'll delete, and much worse we'll delete. Now we have 3 answers. We're going to go back and make this a matrixed question. And now all other answers that I add will actually serve as the question components of this matrixed question. So we'll add how are you feeling? How was school? How was work? How was dinner? So now what I have is a question which has 7 answers. Worse, same, better. How are you feeling? How was school? How was work? And how was dinner? However, since they're organized into a matrix, they're going to appear quite differently. So let's go ahead and do a preview. And now you'll see the single selections above, the multiple selections above. And now we come to our matrixed question. We'll see that the first three answers, because we specified 3 as the number of answers, are arrayed across the top of the grid that appears, and that the subsequent answers appear now as sub-questions to the master question, which is, please select the answer that best applies to the questions below. Hide our preview. So in this way, I can go ahead and start to really build up a pretty sophisticated questionnaire one at a time.